Ooh, Mr. Hilter. It's that nice Mr. McGurring on the phone. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I only have a couple of issues I want to talk about. One is the never-ending election. It'll never be over. It's been going on for what, 20, 30 years now? I think it's ridiculous that people are calling for Clinton to drop out of the race, especially since she looks to be doing very well in the final few contests that are coming up. I think she has a solid case when it comes to seating the Florida and the Michigan delegates, and it'll be interesting to see what happens as a result of that, because to not seat those delegates is to, in effect, void the votes of millions of people. And I just don't see how they can go about doing that without creating some kind of massive fucking confusion. Now, that being said, at the beginning of this whole thing, I made a prediction that John Edwards would be the candidate for the Democrats, and that John McCain would be for the Republicans. I was right about McCain so far. He is the presumptive nominee. Doesn't look like John Edwards is going to be in there, but you never know. A lot of people have talked about a compromise candidate coming out of the convention. Whatever's going on in the election on the Democratic side is totally fucked up as far as I'm concerned. I can't even predict what's going to happen. I wouldn't even begin to know. It certainly seems that the powers that be are trying to force Obama into the position to be the nominee. It seems as though he's being shoved down the collective public's throat, as it were. And it doesn't matter what comes up to stand in his way, whether it be his incredibly arrogant elitism, his hatred of America, his wife's hatred of America, his total lack of experience, his totally empty rhetoric. None of that seems to make a bit of difference. His controversial pastor, Reverend Wright, nothing seems to stick to him. Nothing seems to have any kind of negative effect on his campaign whatsoever. Which leads me to believe that there is some shenanigans going on behind the scenes. And in case any of you out there, might want to shake your head at there being high-level illegal activities going on when it comes to voting and vote counts, you need to do some research, because let me tell you something. It's true, it happens, and it may be what's going on right now in trying to make it seem like there's an overwhelming bit of support for Obama in the campaign. So I don't know what the powers that be are ultimately going to do. It may be that they're throwing Obama out there, trying to shove him down everybody's throat for a purpose other than for him to be the nominee. And maybe Clinton will end up being the one who gets nominated. Or maybe it'll be somebody else entirely. A lot of people have talked about Gore coming out of the woodwork. There's certainly a lot of other people that they might put into place. And when I say they, I mean the powers that be, the people behind the scenes that actually run the show. Certainly I say voting is something, a privilege that you have, that you should exercise. But at the same time, I don't feel you should be deluded into thinking that what you vote for and what the majority of people vote for in this country has a 100% correlation to what really happens after everything is done and tabulated. So don't be naive and think that just because you vote, that vote is inviolate and it gets chartered up to whoever you vote for, because it ain't fucking happening. Alright? If they want someone else to get more votes, then whoever did get the most votes, then that person's going to get more votes. It's simple as that. But sometimes things may work out to the betterment of everybody, and sometimes the candidate that you want is the one that they want. So, hey, it works out good for you in that case. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Democrats, and certainly I'm getting sick and tired of it, going on and on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Let's not forget that John McCain, being presumptive Republican nominee, is failing to get a commanding vote in all of these remaining primaries. Of course, Ron Paul is still in the race, but others have already dropped out, and they're still getting votes. In Pennsylvania, John McCain got like 70-some% of the vote. In the last two, I think he got around 70% in both of those states as well. While, two candidates who are no longer in the race got a significant percentage. Ron Paul polled 8% in both of those states. Now, there's no mandate for him either, so who knows what's going to happen there. I mean, the guy could die tomorrow, and he's no great shakes either, so I don't want to see him become president, because it's going to be even worse than the fucking shit that we have right now in the current administration. Last two issues, really one issue, but two aspects of it, is illegal immigration. This should be a no fucking brainer, okay? We got tens of millions of illegal immigrants in this country, most of them from Mexico. It should be a no-brainer. They're here illegally. Everything they do once they cross that border, becoming illegal aliens, is illegal. They need to be rounded up, and they need to be sent back to where they came from. Okay? And now you have this big push where they want to bring Mexican trucks into this country en masse. These things are unsafe. Unsafe. Running on bald tires, no brakes. They don't go through anything like the kind of inspections that trucks do in this country. And yet, they want to bring these things in here and run them through this country. Imagine the death toll. Imagine the catastrophe that's going to happen if that comes to pass. And when it comes to illegal immigration, imagine the incredible savings you're going to have when you don't have tens of millions of illegal immigrants here using our gas, buying our food, and forcing the price up for us. Taking our government benefits and using our health care. All of those costs are soaring for people who are trying to get by, who are law-abiding citizens. I don't know why this is even an issue, and yet it is. Send all illegal immigrants back to where they came from, period. Round them up and send them back. Put up a fence, put up a wall, whatever you have to do to keep them out. Get them out and keep them out. It should be a no-brainer. It should be a completely no-nonsense issue. And that's one thing you need to know about John McCain. He's a big supporter of amnesty, and he's in tight with a lot of the Mexican activist groups for giving amnesty to illegal Mexican immigrants. Imagine the jobs that would be available to you here that are being taken by illegal aliens. And I say further, to companies that employ illegal aliens, they should prosecute not only the corporations, but also the CEOs and the people that hire these people. That's the only way you're ever going to put a stop to it. There's money behind it all, and as soon as you start attacking the money, that's when you're going to start hitting people where it counts. Go after the CEOs, go after the corporations that hire these people, go after them big time. Gather them all up and send them back where they came from, period. And don't let Mexican trucks into this country, because it's a disaster waiting to fucking happen. End of discussion. Thank you. Good night.